Well, so Allison and I were successful. We managed to find you. We just wandered through the halls. He used his PhD to successfully get us to
Pass
you.
through,
And the map. But I'm crediting all that deep building science knowledge that managed to get us here.
So he was like the lubricant that got us here.
Exactly.
We are in a building.
Exactly.
Right.
So how long have you been at the show today?
We just came down for a ceremony, and we're on our way back. So
Tell us about that ceremony. I saw it.
Did you?
I did.
Oh,
I was there in the background.
Okay,
Yep.
Yeah. So today was the Carlson Houlihan Industry Award of Excellence. I don't know if you're familiar with that, but
Yeah, you got that a few years ago.
well, no, I created the award actually, and that was like 20 years ago.
Oh.
So so every 2 years we give it out to somebody who represents the characteristics of Dan Houlihan and Gil Carlson. And Gil was an engineer for ASHRAE, not for ASHRAE, but he represented ASHRAE in the hydronics end of things, and he was a brilliant kind of guy. And Dan Houlihan is just like the educator's educator. And
great storyteller.
yeah, great storyteller. And so today we gave the award to Dave Hughes.
Good dude.
Great guy.
Yeah.
Right? And from the Northern Alberta Institute of Technology. So that's what that was all about. And so came from one of the ASHRAE meetings, came to the ceremony, and managed to get in front of your camera, and then we're on our way back.
Well, you knew it was a guarantee that we were going to hook up, regardless of what the agenda was.
Absolutely, I would do anything to be able to talk with you. So
we appreciate it. So no, it's been a pretty good show. I mean, it's a big show. There's a lot of stuff happening. There is a lot of really cool products. Hydronic-wise, there's a lot of new stuff. You know, the CO2 heat pump that we just saw is a pretty interesting CO2
tankless heat pump.
Tankless heat pump.
Put the whole thing in there.
So Allison's going to go scope that out tomorrow. They're going to have their Smarties out to deal with that. But there's a lot of new technology there. There's a lot of new controls. IBC has a new air to water.
That's right.
Apparently Lochinvar has a new air to water that's here as well. So it's pretty cool. You've got the leadership from NEBA is here. We had an opportunity to talk to them a little bit. So. Yeah, it's there's a lot of really interesting people and a lot of interesting products.
Well, and I think is this the first time they've been back for a couple of years?
It is.
When was the first time? Was it Vegas? Was there a show in Vegas?
I don't remember the one from Vegas.
Yeah, like for the big trade show. I think this is the first time in a couple of years, isn't it?
I think they had it last year.
Did they?
Yeah, I think it was in Vegas last year.
But for those that haven't been, like this is a huge show. I mean, there's two major halls. There's the hall behind us, which is basically all education stuff. And I don't know how many thousands of booths are here. Like there's lots. Yeah. But this is, even though this is a big show, this is not as big as ISH. Have you been to ISH?
I haven't been yet.
Have you been to ISH?
No.
Yeah, so that's the International Sanitation and Heating Show, which is like probably 10 times this size.
So I was invited to go as a guest of TACO. Thank you, Mike Miller. But it coincides with when I'm in holidays with my wife in Barbados. So similar to the joke earlier about your anniversary and how you can't join us for dinner today, I didn't think my wife would accept you go to Barbados, I'm going to hang out with Mike Miller and the TACO crew. That didn't sound like a good choice. So I haven't been, but this is a huge show. We just discovered it as we tried to go from Hall C to Hall A to find you.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people.
A shortcut there.
We did. So
a lot of people don't know that there's actually two functions going on here simultaneously, right? So there is actually the AHR trade show, which is what you guys just came from, but then there's also the ASHRAE conference. So this is our winter meeting, and we have another meeting in the summertime where there is no trade show. So ASHRAE is a sponsor of the AHR, and a lot of the money that comes from AHR through the ASHRAE sponsorship actually ends up in research, and we spend a couple $1 million a year, roughly, something like that, every year researching projects. And I think right now, going back to the beginning of time, we have funded well over 900 research projects.
Wow, that's impressive.
Yeah, so
really impressive.
Everybody says we're going to the ASHRAE show, we're going to AHR, and but the reality is there's actually two independent programs going on right now.
And I'd like to point out there was actually a third big event this weekend, the Atlanta Groundhog Day Juggling Festival.
Right. So I feel it's an oversight that we haven't gone there to film any content and interview any groundhogs, but I'm assuming we'll get some sort of summary update.
Well, that would explain why there's a shortage of food and accommodation.
It clearly can't be this event.
I mean, there's like probably 35,000 people here. The juggling show must attract at least
200,000.
As always, my friend.
Allison, always great to see you.
Yeah. As always.
Yeah. And you can see Allison on our podcast coming up.
Yes, tell us about that.
Yeah, the Edifice podcast, Edifice Complex podcast. Yeah. So Allison just released a new book. A house can breathe or does, no, what is it?
A house needs to breathe.
Yeah.
Or does it?
Does it? Yes.
So the nice part about Allison,
Answer's on page 23.
okay, page 23, somebody get the book. The nice part about Allison is he shares my wit.
Yeah.
So we're not sure how the class is going to go, but we do know it's going to be fun, it's going to be scientific, and people are going to learn something. My house is a bit of a disaster, so we're going to go look at my place. We might record some content with
wow, that's good.
Francesco,
Yeah.
and we're going to have a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And everybody who comes will definitely have a good time.
And you're going to, of course, help people get a copy of the book. They can
Absolutely,
They can get it through your website, Energy Vanguard, right?
I'm going to ship some up there ahead of time.
Yeah,
and
good.
We're going to offer a special discount code for people signing up for this event.
Yeah.
Get a discount, sign, and I'll be signing.
Yeah. Well, like I said on the podcast, one of the things I love about the book is that it's not so academic that you have to have a PhD, Dr. Bales.
So what Robert's saying is Michael can understand it.
Michael can understand it, exactly. And yet it's also like it's accessible to the tradespeople, to the homeowners, to the practitioners, general practitioners. So it was really well done. And the illustrations, the graphics are really, they do a great job explaining the content. And although it's I would call it a half tune. It's not quite a full tune, like it's a half tune. You know, like you can put it as a doorstop for a small door, but not a huge door, right?
So the question is, I always have Siggy's book. I have his latest edition in my carry-on. I need something to read on the plane. They never get old. Can I put your book and that book in my carry-on? I think the answer is no.
It's 3 pounds.
3 pounds, is that all?
3 pounds, yeah.
That's how you know it's written by a PhD. It's based off of weight, not pages, weight.
Well, I have also been doing shipping. So I know how much it weighs, even with the packaging. It's 55 ounces. For one book.
Well, it's going to be a fun time. I know we're looking forward to it.
Well, if you think about all the contributions, again, going back to the education, look at this here, right? This is just, for everybody who's looking behind us here, this is part of the program for this AHR, ASHRAE,
lots.
and there's lots of courses. There's some free ones here, right? So, and that's actually the one I'm doing tomorrow, actually, the free one. But, so between, the literature that you're producing, the training you're doing on site, the stuff you have here, ignorance is not an excuse. Like there's no shortage of information, training, and this industry needs to step up its game.
Well, I think you guys have set the bar very high, and I look at it as a responsibility of people like me and others that as we grow into this industry, it's our responsibility to try to hold the flag. You guys have done a great job at setting the standard, and we need to at least try to get up those steps with you, and it's exciting to be part of, and I'm just pleased you allow us to be a part of it.